Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Ole Man Winter back once again with a new episode of No Holds Barred. Where we give it to you straight, no chaser, rough, rugged, and raw. You know what I'm saying? Uncensored, unfiltered, you know what I'm saying? Telling it like it is and giving it to you, you know what I'm saying, in a raw. Not pulling no punches, not bullshitting, not scary, not none of that shit. Motherfuckers just saying what the fuck is going the fuck on. So, today's episode, I gotta address my boy Kwame Brown. He's been the hottest thing on the internet scene, for the last, week or two. The ultimate underdog story, bullied for years upon years. And finally struck back, and they hit gold on these YouTube streets. Lashed out at these motherfuckers and tripped all his opponents out, everybody that done fucked with him. He done made them look silly, tripped them out, went at their ass, cursed their ass out. And like I say, it's, in my opinion, from the things that I've seen, it's all well deserved, from the basketball, his former teammates and, commentators, Stephen A. Smith, another coon, Boyce, Watkins, everybody pretty much that he had to give the business to, they deserved what they got. So I can't knock any of that. But, as you can see from the title of this program, show, podcast, whatever you want to call it, it's when you lay with dogs, you catch fleas. So, Ole Man Winter, what do you mean by that in relation to Kwame Brown? Well, I've been watching Kwame Brown, I've said that he's a real nigga, because he's been saying real nigga shit. And I can't never take that away. And I hope he continues on the path that he's doing on the things that he say. But the things that I see are alarms and red flags, to me, are the people that he sends little shouts out to. So when you're shouting out people like Larry Elder and Candace Owens, Jesse Lee Peterson, King Randall, and Tommy Sotomayor, whatever the fuck that bitch nigga's name is. This is the League of Coons you're shouting out. I haven't heard this man say no real coon shit, and I ain't got time to go through the millions of, I'm not gonna say million, but all the videos he done did. He's had a YouTube channel already prior to this, so I know a lot of people think he just came out the blue. But he has stuff from, months and years back, so if somebody really wanted to comb through all of that, they could. But I'm just taking it at face value from what I hear when I hear what he say, as it goes along. So he might have definitive positions already in the public that will explain why he's aligning himself with people like I say, Larry Elder, Candace Owens, Jesse Lee Peterson, these type of individuals. I haven't heard him say on his run right now anything that's in line actually with any of these people, but it's still kind of strange that he's shouting these type of people out. But like I say, when you lay with dogs, you wake up with fleas. His boy Tommy Sotomayor, I believe he didn't even made an appearance on this man's show in the past. This man is a real piece of shit. He's a fucking coon. He done said so much off-code, off-kilter ass shit. He's just a piece of shit. You trying to align yourself with a cocksucker like this, that sends red flags up to me. I don't understand what he sees in that man that's beneficial, because I see no redeeming qualities, as well as any of these other people on the list that I've named. And I would like, if this ever comes across the man's way, for him to, address what exactly does he align with, and what is his views that he likes so much from Larry Elder or Candace Owens or Jesse Lee Peterson. King Randall, he has some flip-floppy stuff, so I can see that guy. You can focus on the good things that he do, even though it seems like that's kind of a cover for coon shit, to have coon shit leak into some shit. Or like this Tommy cocksucker, what part of their agendas do you align with, Mr. Brown? I don't know, because the things that you're saying, I have yet to hear none of this like hardcore coon talk, like these coons talk themselves, come out of your mouth. Now you may say something here and there, but I haven't heard you throwing black folks under the bus, saying there's no system of white supremacy, all this, pull yourself up by the boot. Well, you kind of say some of that, in a very subtle way. Like when you're saying things like, you're an example of the narrative, how the narrative is. That, you don't go along with the narrative. Well, all of us aren't 6'10" or 7'11" or whatever, 285 pounds, and can dribble, the basketball and shoot 3-point. All of us can't do that. So, when you say things like that, you have to understand you're in an elite group, and that's why you've achieved the things that you've achieved. All of us can't do that, but that's for your specific situation. So that bootstrap I'm not sure if you're a bootstrapper like all of these people that say black people's problems is all themselves, there's no system of white supremacy, and they kiss white ass from here to a million miles away. I've heard you say, and this is a reason why, even though you're shouting these people out, these people are hardcore in their beliefs. So I haven't heard any reciprocation from them endorsing you, because you are saying things about how like Stephen A. Smith got to get permission from, his white handlers and shit, and calling out Charlemagne on the same shit. All of these boule ass whites and shit. That's not their agenda. Their agenda is, it ain't no white handlers. If niggas ain't doing good, if they ain't got shit, or if it ain't some shit going on for them, it's just on them. So when you're saying a narrative that's completely off kilter with them, or doesn't lock in step, go with them, they aren't gonna come out and embrace you. So you could shout out Larry Elder and Candace Owens and Jesse Lee till your lungs collapse. I doubt that you're gonna get any reciprocation unless they feel like they can use you to further their own brands and their own agendas. But if you're not going to either pipe down your message as far as white folks and shit like that, and let it be known that a lot of these motherfuckers are controlled by white people, then they aren't gonna fool with you, because their whole platform is there's no white supremacy, niggas is just fucked up on their own and shit. So this is like where the confusion is at with me, like, why are you shouting these people out? And I haven't heard much of this rhetoric coming out of your mouth. You've been saying a lot of real nigga shit. So, like I say, I would like to hear an explanation, or, you don't owe me anything, but I would just like to understand, what is your reasoning for shouting these people out and, enjoying, I guess, whatever relationship you would like to have with them or whatever, what are you drawing off of from their rhetoric? I would just like to understand what of their rhetoric do you support to be shouting these people out or endorsing them or whatever you want to call it. I just find that, real interesting. But I can say I've seen you dealing with, at least one real person that I know of, which is Judge Joe Brown. Judge Joe Brown ain't no coon. He ain't shucking and jiving. He ain't kissing whites. He'll call out white supremacy. He talks about these white motherfuckers like anybody the fuck else, that know the business about how these white supremacists get the fuck down. And Judge Joe Brown, is a real dude, he speaks the realness, and I seen you did an interview with him, so yeah, now that's what I'm talking about. Now, Judge Joe Brown, those types, I can understand that. I can't understand an infatuation with Candace Owens, who's just an outright fucking coon and shit. I can't understand Larry Elder or this fucking clown Jesse Lee Peterson. What appeals to you from these motherfuckers? Or Tommy Sotomayor, whatever this bitch nigga name is. I'm not about to try to keep struggling to say this bitch nigga's full name. Tommy bitch made nigga. Any of these people, I'm not understanding what the appeal is for you to them. And as I say, like with laying with dogs, now you see what happened with this bitch made nigga Tommy and how he turned around and attacked you, you know what I'm saying? I haven't even really I went off of hearing what you said about him. I didn't even really go off because I can't stand the sound of that bitch made nigga's voice to even go see what the fuck he actually said. But it's quite obvious that he pulled some bitch made shit, got mad because he couldn't, ride your dick and get his shine on off your coattails and shit. So then he lashed out and attacked you and shit like that. What do you expect dealing with bitch made niggas like that? He doesn't have any redeeming value. None of his views are redeeming. He's struggling over there. He's yesterday's news. So if he can't eat with you, he'll try to eat off you. He's just a snake bitch made nigga like a lot of other motherfuckers out here in this motherfucking world and shit. But you see now. You see. And if you ended up linking up with some of these other people, it'd be the same story. You wouldn't get nothing different. But you don't toe the line enough for any of them to even embrace you in any way, shape, or form. What are you going to sit down with? What are you and Jesse Lee Peterson really agreeing on? Unless you feel like there's no system of white supremacy too, and all niggas is pretty much fucked up and stupid and dumb and shit like that, and white mommy and white daddy is our best answer for everything. You believe that, then okay, maybe y'all have some type of camaraderie. Candace Owens, the person that attacks anything that has anything to do with black society, rides white society's dick from pillar to motherfucking post. Nothing white people can do is wrong, and nothing black people could do is right. What are you aligning? What ideas do you all have that cross paths? I just, would like to know. Larry Elder, a perennial fucking old school coon. He's one that, he's put the blueprint out there for cooning. So, what's the appeal? I just would like to really understand that. Also, sometimes what's also revealing is not everything a person does say, but what people don't say too. So I've noticed you've aligned yourself with like this list of the League of Coons, like I say, Larry Elder, Candace Owens, Jesse Lee, King Randall, Tommy Bitch Made Nigga. But absence from any of your shout outs are like some of the realest ones out here, like Tariq Nasheed, who done actually said some things positive in your favor about what you got going on. Jason Black of the Black Authority, Professor Black Truth. You haven't shouted out. If you know about all these other people, I'm pretty sure you know about these guys too. I haven't heard you endorse or shout any of, some of these people that's out here really spitting the realness for our people, the shit that we need to hear, the people that's saying shit that our people need and need to hear. I'm not hearing you say anything about any of them. I'm hearing you say a Larry Elder or Candace Owens out your mouth. Or Jesse Lee Peterson, who's a fucking complete fucking joke. Obvious tool of white supremacy and shit, and you have some type of good words for him, but we've yet to hear you say anything about any of the real ones out here, and anybody else that I, might have missed. It's just sometimes the absence of what people say is just as telling and just as revealing as what people actually do come out and say. I just find that to be interesting that you haven't spoken on any of the real ones, but you're steady speaking on these obvious overt coons, obvious overt enemies to the black fucking community. That's just, interesting. And, moving on to your boy Boyce. I'm mad at you about Boyce because I wanted to beat you to the punch to get on his bitch ass. Boyce Watkins, he has some redeeming factors, but he has a lot of negatives. And one of his biggest negatives is, well, it's a couple. One is he's an opportunist. He's an opportunist. Let's just say that, definitively. He's an opportunist. He likes to jump on anything that could catch him a headline. Two, he's a perennial dick rider, which kind of goes hand in hand with his opportunism. He just will attach to anybody that's willing to give him a time of day, speak to him one time. Now he going around talking about him 1,000 times, saying that they his friend and this, that, and the third, trying to clout chase off of other people's fucking names. Like motherfucking, I remember you used to say some shit about Young M.A., shouted him out in a song or some shit all the time. Then he constantly uses Ice Cube's name now that Ice Cube sat down and spoke with his bitch ass once or twice maybe. Kanye gave the bitch nigga time of day to speak to him. Who else? Who's the other guy that he used to always talk about? Tyler, the Creator. He'll even shout a motherfucker out for negative reasons and shit. He'll always bring up Tyler, the Creator, had an issue with him and shit. He's just, like I say, he's a perennial dick rider. If anybody he can name drop, and that goes to what the issue was with him coming out doing snake shit that was obvious to all of us, motherfucking trying to do little, which he does that snake shit a very lot. This ain't his first go around with that shit. But he always does that when he's trying, he'll come out and tell a motherfucker, oh, I like this person, I like that person. But if that person have a rivalry with somebody that he likes or something like that, like Charlemagne, like you with Charlemagne, he'll come out and say he likes you and then go on a tirade throwing you under the bus. This is his MO. He did that shit with even Vicky Dillard, which I love Vicky Dillard. Vicky Dillard and what's the young lady? Give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, Vicky Dillard and Tamika Mallory. Now, I'm not no big fan of Tamika Mallory, but that's a story for a whole nother episode. But Dr. Watkins went and did a whole episode where he was saying, oh, I like Tamika Mallory. I know her and Vicky Dillard, and I like them both and this, that, and the third. And then went on a complete tirade of tearing into Tamika Mallory and shit after how he said, and there's countless other examples. If I wanted to get on bitch ass shit like he would do and shit, I would go and comb through all the countless examples of him doing snake shit like that to so many different people is just unfathomable. This is his MO. He'd come out and say about how he liked this person, that person, and before he gets to tearing into their motherfucking ass and shit. But he does that as a motherfucking smoke screen and shit, you know what I'm saying? Hope maybe it's a deflection to try to, so the person don't come back and lash out back at him, or I don't know what the reason is for his little snakish behavior on that shit. But that's what the fuck, you know what I'm saying, he do. He's a snake ass nigga, this is how he get down. But to my point, you know, I wanted to get at that motherfucker. I wanted to roast his ass on all the shit. And you said a lot of shit about this nigga that was right, the nail right on the head, you know what I'm saying? So I can't, knock that shit. The only thing that I would say is that, Powernomics isn't fucking Boyce Watkins shit, you know what I'm saying? So ain't no need in throwing that under the bus. Powernomics is Dr. Claude Anderson's brainchild. And Powernomics would work. Dr. Claude Anderson would tell you that other communities, other than the black community, have implemented Powernomics successfully to raise their community up and uplift their community. So the concept of Powernomics does work. It's not bullshit or no shit. But I know you were confused about that anyway because you were attributing Powernomics to Boyce, not Dr. Anderson. But no, that's not Boyce's shit. You want to trip Boyce out? His shit is the Black Business School. He the one that had Wu, whatever that Wu motherfucking name, talking about Boyce was this fucking bitch and a puppet and this, that, and the third. And it's just some standard fair ass shit and how they conning the people with that Black Business School shit. That's Boyce Watkins. Black Business School been exposed as some type of fucking con operation, really ran by his master and boss, this Wu character that said Boyce was a bitch, and Boyce still was fucking with him afterwards and may still fuck with him to this day. Probably do, because like I say, it sounded like Wu was the real boss of that fucking operation. But Dr. Claude Anderson is a completely different thing, and Powernomics is his shit. You know what I'm saying? And Powernomics, like I say, works. It works it has worked for other societies, other ethnicities. The reason it hasn't worked for black people is because black people now have become so disconnected, none of us can get on the same page. Powernomics is about, it's a group thing. Everybody has to do their part for us to bring ourselves up under the Powernomics strategy. Black people are disconnected because we've been victimized by white supremacy so bad, and they made so many overt efforts to disconnect us via their government programs, prisoner pipeline, the criminal justice system. Just, the list goes on and on. The government, basically the white society, the system of white supremacy has geared all of its efforts towards breaking up the black society as a whole, from the family structure to the community to everything. You know what I'm saying? That's why we can't get on the same page to implement Powernomics. We can only get one or two or few twos and fews of wealthy individuals, but we can't uplift ourselves and our communities as a whole. That's by design. But Powernomics is meant to counter that, and if we were able to implement it, we could bring our society up by the whole. So Powernomics is never some bullshit, some shit that never worked. It's worked for other people. It's examples of this. It's worked for other people. Other people have studied it, like they study a lot of the shit that we do. You know what I'm saying? That if we can't do shit with it, they'll come and do it. Same thing in Africa when they come and strip all the resources and gain wealth and riches and, you know, just dominate based off of our resources and the shit we got. It's no different from the exploitation in Africa. We have that same thing with with intellectual exploitation. So, you know, just to make that clear, Powernomics is by Dr. Claude Anderson, and it's a viable strategy to uplift the community. Black people just can't get on the same page to actually implement it. So, you know, I just want to make that clear. But yeah, fuck Boyce, you know. Boyce did this little scam, black business. I don't even really hear him talk about that, but he's probably still running the shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Boyce did that. You know, he's been exposed. He's had a couple of those scandals and shit. There's even rumors that, you know, rumors by me, that this motherfucker might really be a motherfucking sissy, and that new thick ass wife of his and shit. Even though she a vet, she is thick, you know what I'm saying? She a little cutie pie. She may just be the man beard and shit. You know, this man might even be a member of the LGBTQP society, you know. Hey, who knows? He does seem a little, you know, they don't call him Moist Watkins for nothing, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, you know, who knows on that point? You know, I'm just shooting the shit with that. But, you know, just to clarify, Powernomics isn't his. His shit's a black business school. Trip that bullshit out all you want. Dr. Claude Anderson is an asset to the community, and we shouldn't be out here talking shit about the things that he's implementing, because he's done nothing but try to uplift the black community. And he's had fierce resistance from black folks. You know, it's hard to get us to follow anything, you know what I'm saying, because everybody thinks they know the right way, and the loudest person, the one that actually normally gets followed, or the ones that gets followed, are usually the people that's leading motherfuckers in the wrong direction. You know, that's why Dr. Claude Anderson has been drowned out over the years by a lot of other motherfucking coons out here that haven't done anything, and that's why no progress has been made, because we haven't been following some of his edicts and some of his programs and some of his teachings. If we did, maybe we would be able to bring our communities up collectively as a whole, you know what I'm saying, and improve our situation, like some of these other societies have, implementing his methods and theories of Powernomics. You know, so, you know, this is just, a couple of things I want to get off my chest. You know, I can't really knock what you've been out here doing. Like I say, the only little off-cold shit I see is, you know, the strange associations with people like Candace, Owens, and the Larry Elders of the world, and Jesse Lee Petersons of the world. It just makes no sense. I would like for you to just explain what it is about these people that appeal to you. If it's just that free thinking rhetoric, you know, I've heard you like have a couple of attacks on like the woke ideology or wokeness. The free thinking is just like the Republican tagline for wokeness. You know, it's like the Republicans' way of saying being woke by saying they're free thinking. But when you look at the Republicans, when they start talking about free thinking, it's normally just all of them thinking the same everything that's in line with the Republican Party, but they're just black. So now I'm a free thinker, So, everybody got their little rhetoric and little bullshit they put to the table. It's some that like to attack wokeness, have an issue with wokeness, but how can you have a problem with being woke, being enlightened? When Obama came out and had an issue of wokeness, I knew that it was being woke is somehow making an impact because you got a top level Democrat crony talking shit about wokeness and saying that we need to stop being so woke. So when Obama did all of that, it's like, okay, we must be on to something. So let's not attack the wokeness. Let's not even attack the free thinking. The only issue I got is most of the people that use the free thinking tagline are saying that when they're lock and step aligned with the Republican agenda and all the shit they talk about. I'm pretty sure Daniel Cameron will come out and say he's a free thinker too. You heard Kanye and Candace and all of the other, the Republican marching squad. I'm pretty sure your boy Tim Scott done said he a free thinker. So let's not just jump on this or that. And like I say, I have no love for Democrat or no Republican. That's why I'm not gonna align myself with any of them, these fucking Democratic shills or these Republican shills like Candace Owens, who's diehard Republican and all this other shit too. I'm more of a practical person, and it kind of seems like, Kwame, you are too, but when you start aligning yourself with this one or that one or the third, it starts drawing you closer to them. At least it'll appear that way, but from a balanced or practical standpoint, wokeness, free thinking or whatever, if you're approaching things from a practical perspective, it's all the same thing, so you can't say, oh, you was a clown for this wokeness. Y'all woke people ain't shit. Y'all know what the fuck y'all talk about. Then turn around and say, I'm a free thinker. You're saying the same fucking thing. Come on now, you're an intelligent person and the rest of us are. We have a lot of intelligent people out here. You're saying the same thing. One is just, more of a, and honestly, from people saying woke, from my experience, it's more people that's on a more neutral level, and that free thinking tagline is used more by the Republican shield side of things. So I just wanted to touch on that too. Like I say, you're doing a lot of good things out here in these streets. I'm not knocking anything. I'm not hating. I just think that we have a little too much idol worship out here, and constructive criticism never hurts anybody, or asking questions don't hurt anybody neither. Asking clarification. So, this is mostly about, asking clarification. You can tell me, go fuck myself, you don't know me, or whatever the fuck, or this shit might not cross your ears, or whatever the fuck. It is what it is, but the questions, are legitimate, I feel like, and should be asked. And I just think that we have to approach everybody. We got to vet everybody, and we got to approach everybody objectively. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't be looking for a new messiah, a new leader, a new this, a new that. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody and everybody could be compromised. We got people that started off on a good note and became compromised. Look at Candace Owens. She's the perfect example. She started off as some type of Democratic motherfucker, and I guess she was a broke Democrat and wanted to become a paid Republican, so she flipped her motherfucking flags and shit. And you got plenty of them. Not just like little coon like Candace Owens. You got them on the political level. You got flip-floppy senators. There was once Republican, once Democrat. So on all levels, what I'm saying, it's not wise to throw all your chips in one basket. And as I have a business, background, it's not wise to throw all your money into just one type of, or one investment, or even one type of investment. You're supposed to diversify. You're supposed to look at you aren't supposed to fall in love with anything out here. You got to look at everything objectively. And that's all I'm saying, when it comes to you. We have to look at you from an objective standpoint. A lot of people are just jumping on the bandwagon, but when you sit there and say a bunch of good shit and then shout out to Larry Elder, or shout out to Candace Owens in the middle of all this good shit, and everybody gonna act like they ignored, they didn't hear that shit. I'm not that one, you know what I'm saying? I heard that shit. Candace Owens is my motherfucking enemy for fucking life, so when you start saying a motherfucking name like that, my ears perked up. I'm not gonna act like I didn't hear it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, what do you see in that bitch, that's making you, want to think that she's on to something or whatever your reasoning is? I just would like to hear it. It's been some Pied Pipers out here, in the world, and some of these Pied Pipers have led people, off of a motherfucking cliff, Look at Jim Jones. I'm not saying you for Jim Jones, but just as an example, look at Jim Jones. Had a tremendous following, had a bunch of people, just living and breathing off everything he said and did. And look how tragically that ended. A lot of people will, just hear what they want to hear and ignore the part that they don't. You know what I'm saying? So when you see a red flag here and there, you need to at least address it, put it out in the open, and let's, find out what's to it, and then move the fuck on and shit. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect. It's just questions that I have and questions that I'm pretty sure some other free thinkers or woke-minded people actually have, that's not just blindly just gonna follow everything a person says or does and ignore the little things that's like, what did he just say? I'm absorbing it all, and I want to hear it all. I'm not gonna just take. Well, you take the good and throw away the bad, but you can't forget the bad was said or done or happened. And that's the scenario we in. So, like I say, if you endorsing the Jesse Lee Peterson, I'm just interested to understand why Candace Owens, Larry Elder, this bitch-made nigga, Tommy bitch-made nigga, these type of people, what's the appeal to you, especially when I'm hearing you say a lot of real nigga shit. Are you gonna say real nigga shit for so long and then pivot eventually? I mean, this is the questions that we're, asking. Like I say, we aren't looking, I'm hoping that this isn't a Pied Piper situation where it seems all the way good to you, falling off the edge of a damn cliff, into the ravine or whatever, so it's a lot of impressionable people that don't have the capacity to fish through everything that's going on, and a lot of people get caught up into the hype and into the wave or something, and then they ain't realized what they signed up for, you know what I'm saying, because they just so gung-ho into whatever. Like the example of Jim Jones, hey, we can even use the example of Hitler, you know what I'm saying? That's another charismatic speaker where it was rah-rah, everybody was like going for what he was saying at first, and then it was like, what did he just say? they ignored it though, you know what I'm saying, to the point that it snowballed out of control and that situation happened. So, I'm not saying you're Hitler, I'm not saying you're Jim Jones. I'm just saying these are examples of times in history where people weren't questioning the people that were taking that Messiah leadership role or whatever, whether you say you aren't nobody's leader, these people put you on a pedestal as that, you know what I'm saying? And it looks like, you like that baton handed to you and you running with it. So, I just want to, see what direction you're running in. That's it, that's all. This isn't an attack on you. This is just questions. Like I say, we all have a right to ask. You can answer if you want, you can ignore it, or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? You can keep it pushing, keep doing your thing. But this is just, a couple of questions from your man, Ole Man Winter. I think outside the box. I just don't blindly follow any and everything that go on out here. I ain't knocking your hustle. I ain't hating on you. I ain't on this Boyce Watkins shit trying to write the blueprint to take you down or none of that shit. I just want to see where you're going with this, my brother. Like you said, I think you were saying somebody was saying some shit to you, but they never asked you where you was going with this. Well, I'm asking, you know what I'm saying? Whoever the fuck, that might have been referencing Tommy or whatever, Tommy bitch made nigga, or whoever. Ole Man Winter is asking, where are you going with this, in regards to these references to Larry Elder, Candace Owens, Jesse Lee Peterson, and the rest of the Coon Brigade, some of this other stuff, I know you probably with like the Powernomics situation, you weren't, you probably didn't, I believe that was an honest mistake that you didn't, understand that that's not the brainchild of Boyce Watkins, when you was going to him for his indiscretions towards you, but yeah, that's not him, brother. That's Dr. Claude Anderson, who should be highly respected by all of us in the black community. But yeah, I'm asking where you're going with this, and I'm interested to see your answer. If you do answer, like I say, it's just your man, Ole Man Winter asking, so you can step up to the plate or you can keep it pushing. But that's about it. That's everything I want to touch on, my brother, and the good people out there. I just had a couple of questions for Kwame. Like I say, no disrespect. I like what you're doing over there. You're saying a lot of real shit. I'm still saying, you a real nigga. I haven't seen you saying no real off cold shit for real, other than shouting out these fucking coons and shit. Like I say, but you might have a reasonable reason and something that's perfectly understandable, or for you, or for all of us, or whatever. Like I said before, I'm all ears. With the rest of us is all ears. And that's about it for me. This is another episode of No Holds Barred, rough, rugged, and raw. We uncensored, unfiltered. Straight, no chaser. Ole Man Winter's gonna speak his mind on any fucking situation. To anybody, whoever the fuck, he don't have no friends in this shit. Everybody is looked at from an objective perspective and vetted objectively over here. I don't have no buddies like Charlemagne, the rapist, and all these other bitch-made niggas that I got a allegiance to, where I'm gonna attack or say this or that in defense of a motherfucker. Fuck them all, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, everybody can go on that chopping block. It is what it is. Ole Man Winter, like I say, this is no block, no censor zone. Get in that motherfucking comment section, say whatever the fuck you want to say. Say fuck your Ole Man Winter or Ole Man Winter. We agree with you 100%. But we need to find out what the fuck Kwame talking about. or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck if you want to come to this bitch and argue about the sky being fucking purple with pink polka dots and shit. You know what I'm saying? The Ole Man Winter gone, you know what I'm saying, rebut with your clown ass too. I don't give no fuck who it is. But like I say, at the end of the day, it's your man, the Ole Man Winter. It's another episode of No Holds Barred, and we out. Peace.